Hey, it's Rachel from All About Planners. In this video, I'm going to show you how to resize any printable for any size bullet journal. You could use this same tutorial to resize any printable for any planner as well, because some of them I know, like the Happy Planner, is less than A4 and letter size, so you can use this same method to resize. The only thing that's different is just the page dimensions. So this is a printable habit tracker from my shop. I'll include the link below. I've just opened it in Adobe. Now we're going to go to File, Print, and then select your printer. And now mine is a Canon printer, and this menu has a properties button. If you're using a different brand, it might say like page setup or custom or something along those lines. Anyway, you want to go to the menu that will allow you to change the printer page size. So let's go to custom. Now bullet journals will vary depending on the number of dots. Some of them have, more dots down the page and less horizontally. It's all different for every single bullet journal. I have a quick reference list for most popular ones, which I'll also include a link below. I'm going to do this for the Loitrum, however you pronounce it. So what I've done, what I like to do with my resized printables, is measure the width of the page from the first dot to the last dot, and same with the height of the page as well. So I've done that with my Loitrum, which is the A5. So the width is 131 millimeters or 13.1 centimeters, and the height is 19. So I don't want to make it the entire, like just an A5 page size, because you've got to account for the like the stitched binding, and then also you don't want it right at the edge of the page, especially if it has rounded corners. So that's why I just take it from the dots, and then you've got a little bit of room if you want to use washi tape to fix it to the page, or you could glue it in, whatever you like. If you use washi tape though, which is what I recommend, you can turn it into a flap. So if you just put washi tape on one side, you can still lift the page up and write underneath it, and then you don't sort of feel like you're wasting pages of your notebook. Anywho, so I've got my dimensions. I'm going to hit OK and then hit OK again. Now this one you'll probably notice it's cutting it off, so it gives you this little print preview here. This is what will print, only things within that boundary. So I'm going to go Portrait, and I'm going to choose Fit Page. So you can see that it's resized to the finished size I want it to be. It's a portrait page orientation printable, so obviously I select Portrait, and then make sure that you select Fit. If you keep it at actual size, it's only going to print this snippet. It's not going to resize it properly, so make sure you hit Fit, and then you can just go Print. Now when I print this out, it will print on a full size, so I use A4 size piece of paper, and then I just trim it. So this prints in one corner, and then I just trim the excess white, which will appear when I print it out. I tend to just mark up the dimensions of one of them, and then I have a whole stack of about 10, and I use my paper guillotine and then cut them all at once. It makes it a lot quicker. So that's how you do a portrait one. Let's do a landscape one. Same deal, another habit tracker printable from my shop. Go to File, Print, and then for this one it's slightly different because it's landscape. So again, go to Properties, and then change the page size. I'm going to keep it in millimeters because inches is just way too confusing. We don't use inches here in Australia, so I just prefer to work in millimeters. It's a lot simpler. So this one, this time it's going to be 190 by 131. So this is the if it's landscape, it's going to be this here. The width of the page becomes the height. So you reverse it from a portrait page orientation. Then hit OK. Hit OK again, and then same deal, you just need to check whether it's portrait or landscape, and then make sure you've got Fit to Page selected. So I've reduced this down, and you can see there's a bit of a white gap on either side. Not a big deal to me because I'm probably just going to cut that off anyway to allow room to put some more washi tape. You can leave the white gap there, totally up to you. It will depend on what page size you are resizing from. So letter size paper 8.5 by 11 inch is wider but shorter than A4, so it can change slightly the amount of excess white that you have. I don't really care, it's not a big deal to me, I'll just trim it off anyway. So that is how you resize them. Open up your printable in Adobe, go to File, Print, Properties, or Custom, or whatever is unique to your printer brand. I'm using a Canon. Go to Custom, enter in your dimensions. Don't forget to measure, I recommend, from the dots, not the edge of the page. Hit OK, and then make sure you've got the right page orientation and Fit to Page selected. I will have a link below this video to that list of popular dot grid notebooks and the like distances between the dots if you just want to look at that for quick reference, but I do recommend that you measure up whatever notebook that you're using, just to make sure that you want it at that size, and consider how you're going to fix it to the page, whether you're going to glue it or use washi tape. So I hope you found this tutorial helpful. I will include some links below to some other printing tip videos as well if you're interested.